Let's continue our journey on LLM for generative AI application development. In this video, we are going to learn how to build an end-to-end LLM custom application. What we are going to do? We are going to take a base LLM, we are going to have the fine-tuning part, going to have an evaluation part, and going to have a deployment part. We will learn how to create the project structure, where to put the scripts, where to put the output, input, etc., and how to run the entire pipeline. Very informative video guys, stay till end and do practice on your own. Let's start without any delay. So here is the final custom LLM classifier in front of you guys. What this LLM app will do is, it will classify customers query into 5 different categories. What are these categories? Billing, complaint, compliment, product inquiry, and technical support. So for example, if I go and say here, you guys are awesome. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a compliment and say classified text. If you come down, it will say it's a compliment with 100% of confidence. If I go and say something related to billing, my bill does not look right, and I ask to classify text, it says billing with 96% of confidence. So basically, whatever you write here as a customer, this custom LLM classifier will classify to one of these categories with very high confidence. This is my final app. We will see how this has been built, what data has been used, what process has been followed, and how we have done this end to end. Please watch this video till end guys. I'm going to discuss a lot of important topics here. So first of all, we are going to discuss what is a custom LLM. Second is, what are the basics of building LLM powered application? So when you want to build any LLM powered application, what are the things that you need? Third is, what are the building blocks of LLM app? So when you are going to build the app, right, what are the components that you are going to build? So there is a slight difference between point 2 and point 3. I'll explain you. Understanding project structure and data flow, I will explain you. And then I'm going to show you complete end-to-end demo. But first of all, guys, one thing you need to understand, if you want to make a pasta, okay, if you want to make a pasta, you must know what is a pasta in its raw form. You must know what is which sauce that you are going to use. You must know how to use onion, ginger, or whatever you want to use in your pasta. Okay, I'm not a pasta expert, but I'm just telling you, if you want to make a pasta, you need to understand which raw materials you want to use, how you want to use it, how you want to mix it, how much flame you want to use, and why you want to use. In the same way, if you want to build a custom LLM, you need to understand, okay, I'm going to build this. What are the things I'm going to need? For example, here in UI, right, you saw that my app is a classifier app. And it's an LLM powered application, which means I have fine tuned some LLM to make this app. So first of all, what I will need? What I will need is, I will need a base LLM, right? I will need a base LLM because I need to start from somewhere, right? So I will need a base LLM. What else I will need? I will need some data for fine tuning, right? Data for fine tuning. What else I will need? You have to think like this, okay? I will need evaluation strategy or training strategy. Obviously, first of all, fine tuning strategy, fine tuning strategy. I will need evaluation criteria or strategy, whatever you call it, evaluation criteria strategy, right? And then I will also need exposing it to the user, right? So end user application or deployment or whatever you call it, deployment. Minimum to minimum, you will need these kind of things if you want to build an LLM powered application. And that is what I am telling you here. Basics of building LLM powered application. These are the basics. Okay, so you will must need these 5 things. Now, some of you might have little confusion on what I mean by, for example, data for fine tuning. or what I mean by fine tuning strategy, or what I mean by evaluation strategy. These are obvious questions. It must come to your mind. To answer these questions, I will go back to this pasta example again. You need to understand your raw materials, guys. And for the same purpose, I have created a detailed playlist on Unfold Data Science. Let me try to show you. Go to Unfold Data Science and go to this playlist called LLM for Generative AI Application Development. In this playlist, I have added 15 videos. All these videos are serving some purpose. This is very thought, very intentional, and very structured. And if you watch these 15 videos, right, you will know why I am saying that it will suffice the purpose of knowing your raw materials in making pasta. And then you can make very good pasta. But first of all, let's go one by one and let's try to understand which of these videos where it will help you in our process. So what we will do is we will build our project. In that project, I will do few things and I will tell you, okay, in building this, you will need to watch these videos to understand more detailed. So we understood what are the building blocks, these five basics of building LLM powered app. Now in building blocks of LLM, right, we will need what we will need first of all, select a base model. Okay, select a base model. So we will need to select a base model, create or acquire some data for fine tuning. Create or acquire data for fine tuning. So what I'm doing, I'm going one level down from here. Base LLM you will need, data you will need. So take base LLM, create acquired data for fine tuning, decide how you want to fine tune. So decide fine tuning, I'm calling FT, decide fine tuning strategy, because there are multiple strategies. Okay, so you will decide your strategy. Similarly, you will decide your evaluation strategy. Decide evaluation strategy and decide deployment strategy. You might be thinking why Aman is putting a lot of focus on these points. The reason is in all these, there are different ways to do it. Okay, so how our project is built. First, I will just tell you how our project is built and then I will walk you through code. So there will be a custom LLM app main project folder. In this project folder, there will be different subfolders. So for example, one folder could be models. Here we will go ahead and store our fine-tuned models. So there could be model will get stored here. Second is scripts. So here we will go ahead and put our scripts, whatever scripts we will need. Third is data. Here we will go and put our input data that we will use for fine tuning. Understand these structures, guys. This is very important. Okay. Fourth is output. So in outputs, you can put your logs, you can put any other output that you want to put, right? And then you are going to have a readme file, and you are going to have a requirement.txt so that anybody can run this whenever they want, right? Now in the script folder, I'm going to have three different scripts. One is called train.py, another is called evaluate.py, and third is called deploy.py, or in my case, I'm calling that simple API.py, simple API.py. In models, I will be writing my model, and in data, I'll be putting whatever data I need for my training. So let me take you to my Visual Studio, and as you can see, whatever structure I defined you, right? Custom LLM app, data folder, data will go inside, or in my case, I have created data inside my script only. So maybe this is empty. Then models is there inside. Okay, outputs, some logs I can store. Scripts, there are three scripts: evaluate, simple API, and train. Model performance is I will run and show you. So let me delete things from here because I want to run and show you. So I'm just clearing things for your benefit. Let me clear everything from here. Okay. So I want you to see in the raw form, in the original form. So let me cancel this that was running on the front end, and I will say Control L to clear the screen. Now, for some of you who is not aware of a virtual environment, right? I am giving a readme.md file here. What you can do is you can create a virtual environment. So here also I have given you the project structure for your reference. You can see that. And you can create a virtual environment like Python M VNB LLM env. Okay. And then in that virtual environment, you can do your requirement.txt. So first of all, you can create a virtual environment. In that virtual environment, you can do pip install requirement.txt. So basically this becomes your step 1 and this becomes your step 2 when you want to run it. In my case, I have done step 1 and step 2 both. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to directly run the train model. And let me fire the train model command. Meanwhile, we will keep discussing what is happening here. So I will go and press this run button. As you can see, there is nothing inside model. When the train script runs, I expect model to come and sit here. There is nothing here, okay? So I expect model to come and sit here. So let me fire this first and we will understand what is happening. Let this run. So I'm importing some packages here from sklearn accuracy score. These are some basic formatting. Now, as you can see, guys, if you remember in the front screen, I was having 5 different categories: billing, complaint, compliment, product inquiry, and technical support. If you have watched my video on, now I will be guiding you to some videos that you must watch. Okay. Here is a video on how to create data for fine tuning. If you can see, I'm hovering my cursor here. There is a video on how to create data for fine tuning. Here I explain you different ways of creating your data for fine tuning, right? And you can use any of those ways. In this example, I am creating a data like this. For example, I am creating billing samples, some examples like this. Okay. Technical samples, some examples like this. So I have 5 categories, right? Inquiry samples, some examples like this. Complaint samples, some example like this. And compliment sample, some examples like this. In all these 5 categories, I am taking some examples here. Now, some of you who have watched my video on LLM fine tuning, data creation, right? This video, you will know that I always focus on creating high quality training data. And if you pay focus here, right? This training data is high quality. When I say training, I'm talking about fine tuning. Okay. So this fine tuning data is high quality data here. Why I say high quality? Because these are created manually. And these are basically inquiry samples. So basically this data is good quality data. And if you have little amount of data also, which is good quality, that will supersede your large amount of bad quality data. So you should always focus on creating good quality data. How to create good quality data? I have told you in this video, you must watch this, guys. Okay. How to create data for fine tuning. In this case, I have created data in the script only. And I have combined it. If you see here, combining the samples, and I'm just in a pandas data frame saying, okay, text is this, category is this. That's it. So my data is ready. Okay, my data is ready and my clean data is ready. This is basically level mapping. Okay, so I'm splitting in test and train here, taking 3 samples for test, rest for train because my data is limited. Okay, then if you see here, I'm using a variable called model name for the model. So model name and model name, I'm saying DistillBERT uncased. Now, my question to you guys, pause the video and tell me in comment why I am using DistillBERT here. Why I can't use a GPT kind of model? That's my question to you. And if you are not aware of these concepts, I highly encourage you to watch a video called Transformer Based Models. So here you can see a video, Transformer Based Models, right? So it will tell you in Transformer, what is an encoder only model, what is a decoder only model, and what is an encoder decoder model. Where you use encoder only, where you use decoder only, and where you use encoder decoder model. You must watch this video. And before this, I have broken transformer into 5 different videos, guys. If you see here, multi-head attention, positional encoding, residual connection, and transformer explained finally. These 5 videos from the top right, what is generative AI, understanding large language models. If you understood, if you watch these things clearly, right, you will be very confident on what is transformer based models and why we are using Distilbert here. You'll be very confident on this part. Why we are using Distilbert, why not some other model? Okay. And some of you who know, please drop me in comment. Is it an encoder only, decoder only, or encoder decoder? And why I'm using this model? And also tell me what is the use of distill word here. Okay. Output directory, I'm giving models, custom support model working. So what I expect is when this script finishes running, right? In the model, it has actually started writing. In the model, right? It will write the complete thing. So complete model it will write in the directory, fine. And then it will take train data, test data. And now from here, right, it is loading the model name. So basically the model that we are giving from Hugging Face. So if you see here, right, auto model for sequence classification from pre-trained and that model, whichever we saw now, it is loading in the model. And from here to here, what I'm doing is I'm preparing training arguments. Now, one more question to you guys. This is actually, this part is responsible for doing. If you see in trainer, I'll be passing the training arguments. See, arguments is equal to training arguments. This part is your fine tuning part. Model fine tuning, LLM fine tuning. Fine tuning using what? Fine tuning the data you have created on the top here. Okay. You have a model, you have a data. Let's go back to my note here. You have chosen a base model. In this case, you have chosen the base model as Distilbert uncased. Okay, there is a reason why we have chosen. I have asked you this question, comment me that. In this case, we have created some good quality data, created data that I showed you, right? Examples in 5 categories. Now the important question is, how do you want to fine tune? Decide fine tune strategy. So for that, I will highly recommend you. There are 5 dedicated video guys. For example, here I am saying LLM fine tuning methods, which methods you can use for LLM fine tuning, how you can do multitask fine tuning, how you can do RLHF fine tuning, how you can do prompt fine tuning. Different ways of fine tuning LLM I have explained you in the same playlist through different videos. Go and watch that. You will get a very good idea on what fine tuning method to use when. Okay. You must see that in this category, the fine tuning I'm using here. Okay. In this category, if you see here, right, I'm using a fine tuning method, nothing specific here. I'm just giving the data and I'm saying, here is my data. Here is my fine tuning approach, right? Go ahead, take my data and give me the metric. So basically simple fine tuning I'm doing here, but there are different ways of fine tuning. Okay. So if you want to learn more, I gave you the reference. I took that and I fine tuned my model. I ran the trainer. If you see here, trainer.train means fine tuning ran. And finally, what it will do is it will fine tune my model and it will test on some test cases as well. So two things will happen. My model will get fine tuned and it will get tested on some test cases. So here you can see the message is model written to output directory. Okay. Model saved to output directory. And you can see here test cases. So expected billing got billing with 99% accuracy. Expected technical support got technical support with 99% accuracy. Okay. So my model is giving 99% around accuracy because my fine tuning data is good and that base model is also good. So you can see that my training is completed. Model is saved here. Model is saved here. And my model is doing good on some data that I have given here. Some data that I have given here as a uh, first cut feel of how the model is, right? Now this is not enough, guys. This is a very first cut feel of how the model is. What I want to do is I also want to evaluate the model separately. And that I am doing in evaluate.py file. In this evaluate.py, so if you go to my readme file, right? So train the model. Python scripts train, create simple training data or use your custom data. So you can use your custom data from here as well. I forgot to tell you, I have given data there, but you can have a CSV, put it here and use it in data folder. Okay. So I have fine tuned and I have saved the model in this. Fine. Now to evaluate the model performance, what I will do is I will give some data here and I'll ask model to evaluate again. For example, in different categories, billing categories, support categories, complaint categories. So this is simple. We will just load the model. So model path I'm giving, you see here models, custom support model working. This path I'm giving. From the model path, it will take the model. It will compare the original. We are giving original levels also. Okay. And we are just classifying how the model is doing based on A, B, C, D, E. That's fine. So if you run this right evaluation, you will see that it is giving us some confidence scores on different categories. So it will tell you that, okay, on this category model is doing good, on this category model is not doing good, right? So as you can see here, it is telling you that mean confidence is 99%, which is great. Accuracy by category, technical support this much, compliment this much, complaint this much. So basically, um, our model should do good on all the categories, right? Not only one or two categories. So we need to see by categories as well. Let's close this. Let's see some output here. There are some misclassifications also happening here, which is what is expected. Okay. Expected compliment and got complaint. This is bad actually. This should not happen. Okay. So we can fine tune. We can check what is making this happen. So this is your model testing. Final result is accuracy this much, confidence this much, excellent performance model. And then in different categories, whatever was showing you in the UI, right? The same things here in the chart that was showing. So misclassified examples are this. The website loads very slowly. Expected technical support got complaint. In one way, it looks okay only because this is complaint in also. The customer service exceeded expectations. Expected compliment got complaint. So this is something to look at. Why it is behaving like this? Okay, this should not happen. Visualization model performance.png, here it is saved as you can see. And this is your model. This is average accuracy etc. done. Now in evaluation, right? This is a classification scenario. I'm evaluating against a actual label here. Please pay attention to what I'm telling you. Here we have an actual level. For example, I know the actual level of this is complaint. I know the actual level of this is sorry, compliment. I know the actual level of this is complaint. So what I can do, I can compare model response with this response. That's fine. But when you go and build LLM powered applications, you always will not have this liberty. You always will not know what is the right thing to do. That is the reason I have created a detailed video here on LLM evaluation. Please go and watch this video, guys. Build reliable AI apps, LLM evaluation. If you watch this, you will know what are different ways to evaluate LLM, which evaluation method to use when it makes sense, when it does not make sense, right? So LLM evaluation dedicated video, please go and watch. Once you have your model ready, once you have it evaluated and you are happy with the evaluation, then the next thing you can do is you can deploy it using multiple ways. So the way I have used here is Flask way. Basically, I have created a simple API, but the same model can be deployed using n number of different ways. It can be deployed using Gradio. It can be deployed in cloud environments. It can be deployed using Docker. So different ways. I can show you that, but I need comments from you saying, show us deployment in AWS or show us deployment in Gradio or show us deployment in whatever you want. Okay. So that comments, if you put, then I will know that, okay, you guys are liking the video. You guys are with me in this learning journey. If you are with me, if you give those signals, then only I will know, right? One thing before I proceed and launch the app, guys, um, in the YouTube videos, right? When you play my videos, beside like, you will see a hype button, HYPE hype. Okay. This is a new feature of YouTube, guys. If you give me hype, right, it will help my channel a lot. If you love my work or if you like how I teach, right, please give me a hype, guys, because my channel is one underrated channel in AI world. If you give me hype, right, it will help me. And likes and comments, obviously, please keep giving. I love these kind of comments when people say very few people can explain these concepts in so simple language. Please keep giving these kind of comments, guys. And that gives me motivation to create more. But don't forget to hype. Okay, hype will come beside like button. Fine. Now what I can do, let's go back to our let's go back to Visual Studio and see readme file again. Evaluation is done, detailed performance analytics is done. Now deploying is simple. I can simply go and say Python script simple api.py, or I can directly run from here as well. It will deploy, and the same UI that I was showing you in the beginning will open. But one more thing can happen. You can also put a curl request for single classification or multiple classification like this. Okay, and you can get your job done. Currently it is running in here, and we can ask anything. For example, let's ask a product related. This product is not getting switched on. Switched on. How to turn it on? Okay, so I'm asking product question. Let's see what happens. Predicted category complaint. Okay, it is going into complaint category. It is taking it as a complaint, and confidence is also not that great. So let's say this product, I want to take it to the product. Let me see the examples what we have given in the training in the product category. Product inquiry basically. Okay, so we will take something similar. Inquiry samples, I think this one. How often do you release new features, or something similar we can ask, because these are our data for fine tuning, right? How often are new updates coming for this product? Yeah, now product inquiry with 94% accuracy. So basically, if it is in sync with the training fine tuning data, right, it will be good. And sometimes there is always a scope of little confusion, so don't worry about that. Please give me a thumbs up, guys, if you like the content, if you like Unfold Data Science, and keep watching, keep learning. I'll share with you in the GitHub, and take it from there. Build your own app and let me know in comments how did you like the video. See you all in the next video, guys. Whatever you are, stay safe and take care.